Next speaker is not a stranger to Fremantle Care Workers. It's Jon Rogers. Thank you.
Comrades, it's very good to be here today. Like Kate, I'm a member of your Unison National Executive representing Greater London, and yeah, I've seen many of you over the last few months. I'm very proud to be wearing one of your T-shirts, although my kids say that the slogan on the back refers to me. But I picked this up off you, didn't I, at the TUC, where there was excellent support, I thought, from lots of trade unions for your dispute. We've got a lot of speakers. I'm not going to speak for long. There's two main points I want to make. First of all, do you remember a few years ago there was a lot of fuss in the press about chuggers? Do you remember that? You used to walk down the street, you still do sometimes, and some young kid would stop you and they'd have a green button on or something, and they'd grab you, and they didn't want to let you go until you filled in a direct debit mandate to some charity. You remember that? And there was big moral outrage about it. Wasn't it terrible? Well, I mean, it annoyed me a little bit, but after I had some email correspondence with this, what's her name, Carol Sawyer, as I was one of the people who sent one of those emails, but I was quite honoured. I got a reply from her telling me how wrong I was, and pointing out that, of course, Fremantle's a charity. Well, for a minute there, I thought I'm on the wrong side. I mean, what is it? These workers, they're picking on a charity. Well, that's terrible. And I thought about it a little bit more. And I thought, well, if Fremantle's a charity, well, charities are there to help people, aren't they? You know, help the impoverished, the poor, the needy. Who are Fremantle helping, I wonder? And then I heard how much she earns. And I put it together, and I realised that at over £90,000 a year, Carol Sawyer is the highest paid chugger in the country, but the people she's chugging are the workforce. And I think that's somewhat worse, isn't it? And echoing a point Kate made, we need, those of us who, like myself, are Labour Party members, we need to bear this in mind, because sometimes the third sector, as it's now called, or the voluntary sector, or charities, are sold to us in the Labour Party as a soft alternative to privatisation. We've got to modernise the services, we're told. And of course, when someone says that, you've got to say yes, haven't you? No one says, no, I don't think we should modernise the services. I think we should make them more old-fashioned, actually. We should go back to using quill pens. I mean, no one says that, do they? And when someone puts an argument to you, to which there can be no counter-argument, be very careful, because they're about to rip you off. So they say, right, we've got to modernise the service. Oh, yeah, OK. Don't want to privatise it. No. We'll give it to the third sector. They're nice and cuddly. Well, no, they're not, are they? Because they're not cuddling you. They're cutting your pay, and they're taking away your holidays. And you're angry about that, and you're right to be angry about that. The other point I wanted to make is that you also need to be confident. Because what you've shown in this dispute is commendable determination and resilience, and also, I think, completely sound strategy and tactics on the part of yourselves and your shop stewards, of your branch, and of your regional officer, Eddie Coulson. And there are people in our union who will fight to the last with you, and you will win that way, because you've adopted the correct approach. It's going to be a long haul. No one thinks you're going to win tomorrow. You know you're not going to win tomorrow. And I can't begin to imagine how tired people must get in a dispute of this nature. But I hope, comrades, that you take heart from today, because there are people here with you today from all over London, comrades like Kate from outside London, and you know that you're inspiring Unison members up and down the country with what you're doing. And I know that you're going to win. And I'm really pleased to be here today, and I'm pleased to have my little boy with me, because I agree that you're not just fighting for yourselves, you're fighting for the services, not just for the services for the people who need them today, but one day when the back of the T-shirt really is about me, people of my age, and maybe in 80 years' time, people of his age are going to need these services. And for generations up to now, people have been able to look at their kids and say in the past, well, you know, we had it tough, but we've made the world a little bit better for you. And I think our grandparents' generation were able to say that to their kids. And I think when I was growing up in the 70s, my parents thought they could say it to me. Well, I have to say I can't say that to my kids at the moment with what's happening in this country. And there's only one way we're going to turn that round, and that's by the sort of grit and determination and courage that you're showing in this dispute. And with that, we'll win, and with that, we'll get back on track, and we'll start making society better generation by generation, and not worse. Now, that's a really valuable prize, and you're right to fight for it, and you're going to win.